The centre has told the apex court that no person can be vaccinated against their wishes. In an affidavit, government has told the top court, centre in fact was responding to a plea on the issue of exempting persons with disabilities from producing vaccination certificates. Centre told the apex court that it has not issued any SOP that makes it mandatory to carry the vaccination certificate for any purpose. Plea in the Supreme Court was filed by an NGO which sought door-to-door vaccination for persons with disabilities. Let me go across to my colleague Harish for more on this. Harish, what exactly is this affidavit? And it's very important because, you know, there are different states which, of course, have different rules in terms of the vaccination certificate, where it needs to be showed, where exactly are you allowed an entry after showing that certificate. But the centre has gone to court, the top court, and said that we have not made it mandatory for anybody to show vaccine certificate. It's not been made mandatory by us.
Yes, the essence of the affidavit is that vaccination is voluntary and not mandatory. No person can be forced to be vaccinated without consent. Government has also clarified it hasn't made carrying a vaccine certificate mandatory for any purpose as far as the disabled community is concerned. The centre has reiterated before Supreme Court, the affidavit was filed in a PIL that sought door-to-door priority vaccination against COVID-19 for persons with disabilities. The plea by NGO, Evara Foundation, said that persons with disability are at a greater risk of contracting COVID due to difficulties faced by them in adhering to hygiene measures, enacting social distancing norms, and underlying health conditions. This is what the affidavit has submitted. It's humbly submitted that the direction and guidelines released by the Government of India and Ministry of Health and Family Welfare do not envisage any forcible vaccination without obtaining consent of the concerned individual. It is further humbly submitted that vaccination for COVID is of large public interest in view of the ongoing pandemic situation. It is duly advertised and communicated through various print and social media platforms that all citizens should get vaccinated, and systems and processes have been designed to facilitate the same. However, no person can be forced to be vaccinated against their wishes. The centre also informed the court that a total of 23,678 doses have been administered to disabled persons who have voluntarily chosen to be identified as such by the unique ID cards. Centre also submitted to the Supreme Court that through its letter dated 22/9/2021, it has advised all states and UTs to vaccinate bedridden or beneficiaries with extremely restricted mobility or disability and special needs, along with their caregivers at their place of residence using mobile vaccination teams. And responding to petitioners' submissions regarding providing exemption from producing vaccination certificate for persons with disabilities, the government has stated that it has not issued any SOPs which make carrying of vaccination certificates mandatory for any purpose in response to suggestions regarding care providers being treated as essential workers. So, carrying of vaccination certificate is not mandatory for those with disabilities. This is what the centre's affidavit submitted to the Supreme Court has clarified.
Right, Harish, thank you so much for joining us with that update. So essentially, the centre, of course, was saying that we have not made it mandatory to carry the vaccination certificate and show it to get access to anything. But then, of course, this is slightly in conflict with what several states follow in terms of allowing people entry to certain places, especially with regard to access to closed spaces and closed halls.